And so the Bitcoin bulls continue to push higher. But the question now becomes, may this just in fact be the last and final rally before a plunge deep down into the crypto abyss? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Crypto Kirby here, your cryptocurrency expert, back with another edition of the daily live stream. What is going on, my friends? Today I'd like to discuss Bitcoin and the action we're seeing inside the chart right now. After a heinous rejection above the $12,000 region, Bitcoin tested down to roughly the $9,500 area. And since then, we've seen an immaculate bounce. Really and truly, the bulls have shown some epic resilience here after a plunge of this magnitude. But the question right now, and what I'd like to examine here, explore and analyze with you all today, is, does this action look like it's going to be sustainable? Does it look like we have enough fuel in the tank to get above not only this previous high here at roughly 12,300, but to then eclipse that and go on to new yearly highs above 14,000? Or, my friends, does this just in fact look like another bull trap, another unsustainable little itty-bitty rally here that's setting up for another heinous rejection to potentially bring us down deep into the crypto abyss? So as a full-time trader, I'd like to discuss with you my strategy, my game plan, and how I plan to crush this market right now in the immediate term. So without any further ado, you guys already know the deal. If you like these daily crypto videos and nightly live streams, smack that thumbs up button, click the subscribe, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. Moon the likes, ladies and gentlemen. Moon them up. All right, so we'll begin with our Bitcoin technical analysis. And of course, before we begin, this is not investment advice, this is not trading advice. These are only my own opinions, ideas, and speculative hypotheses on the market. Always do your own research and your own due diligence before investing or trading, as this market is extremely high risk, and I am not your financial advisor. I will never tell you what to do with your trades or investments. That being said, let's begin right here on the 4-hour time frame. Clearly, Bitcoin had its huge, epic Wiccanacci down there near 9,500. And since then, this has actually developed into a small parabolic move. You guys should know by now, if you are subscribed, these hockey stick pattern formations have been very prevalent here on Bitcoin ever since we really began our parabolic trend all the way back in April. We've seen, it depends on the size. We've had large macro hockey sticks. I mean, there's one. Here's another one. And we've also had smaller micro ones. Here's one there. Here's one here. Here's another one right where we just came from. And now, my friends, it appears to me, to Don Carbonaccio, that we are in the formation of another hockey stick pattern formation right now. So what's interesting to me here is that if we do in fact draw the trend line going up right now, right, I'm going to keep the curve portion of it out of there, right? Let's draw this. We'll keep the curve out. So now we're looking at our parabolic trend line here. Although Bitcoin has found some resistance up here around around 10,950, right now we're seeing that this is still being maintained. This upward sloping trend line of the parabolic move is still being maintained. Sure, there's some concerns for me here. We're going to discuss these now. But at this point in time, I'm not saying yet that this parabolic move has to be done. And the reason for this is purely because it has not broken through the parabolic trend line. Let's get this crypto. Now, let's talk about some concerning parts here, okay? Because sure, this parabolic move could take us up. And as we all know, parabolic moves generally like to move with a curved hockey stick bottom and then a flagpole up. And what generally happens in the final move of a parabolic advance, you happen to get an overly exuberant, euphoric blow off top. We actually saw that here just on our last move, the last macro swing from swing low to swing high. Look here, hockey stick bottom, followed by the curve, right? And then what winds up happening, as you can see here, it respected this trend line all the way up, right? Multiple touch points along the parabolic advanced trend line, and then it deviates from that line and just goes on a parabolic euphoric blow off top. That's when we had our large sell-off, and it actually wound up turning into the large sell-off here that took Bitcoin down for a roughly 23% drop to the downside. So in my opinion here, this is still potentially in the early stages here of the parabolic advance. And it's when we would see the deviation from this line, the potential deviation, that we would look for a blow off top of over bullish exuberance and then a potential plunge. So I want to keep that on your radar as well. That's not only just with this move, ladies and gentlemen, it's with nearly every move that you can think of, right? This one here as well, and even more so on the longer term ones, just like back in the bull run of 2017, right? Bitcoin, hockey stick pattern formation, respecting the trend line, and then boom, just over exuberance right before we hit our absolute peak, and then a plunge deep down into the crypto abyss. So I just want to put that on your radar, that right now on the 4-hour time frame, I am seeing that this does have the potential makings here for a parabolic move, which we could be in the, you know, mid game right here, say, right? We've already had our hockey stick on the bottom. We've already respected this upward sloping trend line with multiple touch points, and maybe we are ready for a over exuberant bullish push to the upside to deviate from the support line and then get our blow off top and a rejection. Let's get this crypto. Now that that's all summed up, let's move on to the more indicator driven analyses here. Okay, so if we take a look here, actually let's keep looking at the candlesticks for now. Okay, so you can see I have these two boxes here, red and blue. For me, the blue is the top of the range, which for me is my last stand with a bearish thesis, right? And this whole red box here is truly meat and potatoes of the bearish zone. Now, why is this the bearish zone? Well, all throughout this region here, we've had a ton of bearish, bullish and bearish price action historically. Tons of support to resistance flips all throughout this range, which is an obvious place for me here to look for some potential price action, which right now, when we examine these other indicators, is leading me to believe that it may be more bearish than bullish unless we truly push through the range. Okay, so we have all of that there. We have right now, my friends, a very interesting series of events here. What I want to show you is that over here on the left, these Fibonacci's here are the Fibonacci extensions of the whole macro move, okay? From the high of the move to the low of the move. These are the Fibonacci price targets for an extension, right? And that is after you've bottomed. These would be areas that you could potentially look to test up to, right? And the interesting thing here, if you are subscribed to this channel, you would already know this. The 0.786 was our first target after this plunge. It hit it to an absolute T. Then we crashed again, had our next major swing high, and the target, ladies and gentlemen, ding, 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 chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan, the 0.618 Fibonacci hit to an absolute T. So now if we were to continue this trajectory, right, past performance is not indicative of future results, but the 0.5 would be the next target. And where does this line up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's zoom in. Well, what do you know? Hickory dickory dock. It's right there at the top of my blue range, which for me is potentially the top of the trend if the bears are going to maintain control. That for me is the area the bears would need to truly come back in with a vengeance, or else the bulls may take full control of this trend. But for right now, we have that indicator there, right? The Fibonacci target, if it were to follow the last two touch points of the targets that have hit, it would be right there inside that blue box. Now, if we look at these Fibonacci extension targets here, right, these are for the micro trend here, only this move, not the entire macro move as a whole that I just showed you with these targets over here. So now that we're looking at the micro extensions, I want you to pay attention to the respect that the algorithms and human traders alike, but generally algorithms here, the respect that they're showing for these lines, okay? So on our first run back up, our bounce from the bottom, look at where we started to find our first rejection, right? Boom, right there at the 0.236, okay? We finally surpassed it, plunged below, and then we had our next high. Where was it? to an absolute T, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. The 0.382 Fibonacci. We get rejected. We go back up. Test the line again. Get rejected. Go up. Our next Fibonacci is hit. Then we get rejected, right? It's like clockwork. And where do we test down to, ladies and gentlemen? Look at these 2 4-hour wicks right here, right now. Ding, ding, ding. Chicken wings for dinner, tofu if you're vegan. The old resistance here turned into new support here like clockwork, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this crypto. So now, the upward sloping trend line of the parabolic move here has been maintained. We have now seen that the old resistance of the 0.382 has now tentatively turned into support. And right now, where is the next target? Well, my friends, this is where it gets very interesting. The extensions here, the Fibonacci extensions, the 0.618 is the most important one. That is the golden Fibonacci. Now, generally, the reason that this is the golden is that it gets tested up to a lot of times. And if the bears are still going to be in control, this is a key area to be watching for, as a lot of times you'll see that the 0.618 gets tested up to, and then there's either a rip through, which is a tentative bullish confirmation that the golden fib did not act as a resistance, or you see it act as a resistance and it becomes more so of a bearish indicator, to say that it can now tentatively look to drop to the downside. And I want to show you an example of this, okay? If we actually take a look here, these all the way to the left now, these were the the Fibonacci extensions for the 2017 parabola, that move, okay? And this is where we could have expected to see a retest before a rejection on this whole parabolic move that we've been on now. And ladies and gentlemen, look at it, just look at it. Hickory dickory dock. The 0.618 Fibonacci was the absolute top. I don't know how else to put that. That is the most clear example there of a golden Fibonacci extension I've really ever seen. And right now, that's what I'm showing you. The importance of this, where we're at now, is that we just hit our 0.618 on our previous swing high, and now on our on our micro move here, right? Just the move now, just the swing high to swing low now. Our next fib that we have yet to test is the golden one, right? And that, for me, my friends, is falling right in this zone here of where we would see price action tentatively looking for a rejection as well. And it would still be respecting the downward sloping resistance line of the lower high trajectory and the bearish structure that we've been in throughout this whole time since our peak at 14,000, right? Also leading into the potential descending triangle pattern formation that we've been forming here over the past month. And for me, this is characterized by a series of a flat bottom of support with a downward sloping trend line of lower highs. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, you all know, if you are subscribed here, this is a classic bearish pattern. And one of the most infamous ones that I love to show as an example all the time is right here. In 2018, the Bitcoin bear market, a series of lower highs, a flat line of support along the bottom, before then seeing the trapdoor give way and plunging roughly 50% to the downside in just a matter of a few days' time. Let's get this crypto. Absolutely looking to me, ladies and gentlemen, like this could be setting up here for a large potential bull trap. And I want to dive into some more indicators now. I also really want to show you the Bitcoin Google Trends data here, ladies and gentlemen. It's been developing now, right? This has been marinating. It's been boiling in the pot, in the kitchen of Don Carbonaccio. And now, finally, on multiple time frames here, the 5-year, the 30-day, the 90-day, we're starting to see some very interesting confluence on the Google Trends data, so I'd like to look at that as well. I want to look at the RSIs here, the moving averages, etc., etc. So let's dive into all of this right here, right now. But if you are just tuning in now, don't forget to moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell. Let's get this crypto. Satoshi needs a new pair of shoes. Sheesh. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm seeing here right now in terms of, let's actually look at the, hold on a second, I'm lagging here. I'm lagging here. 1 second. There we go. Let's actually look at the RSI first. How about that? Sorry, I was just my computer was lagging, so now we're back to normal. All right. So now, if we look into the RSIs here, what we can see is that on our 4-hour, we are looking right now like we're finally getting some resistance, right? And we did not eclipse our high there of our last swing up, right? And that is what you would want to see, at least a retest of it. So right now with the current push, although we aren't nearly at the highs that we were, right? We can very obviously see this. The fact of the matter is here is that we are getting very close now to being in overbought territory. Right now we are currently at the time of recording at a 57. We all know that 70 begins overbought. That is looking a little problematic for me as the trend develops here. The daily right now is struggling to make new highs as well, even with all of the buy pressure. That could get very problematic for me here. Also, keep an eye out here on this line, ladies and gentlemen, around the 40. Yeah, around the 40 level right here. For me, guys, this is truly a very interesting place to be. It is not making new highs on the daily RSI, and it is flirting with a support level that, if broken through, maybe we look to test down into oversold conditions. Let's get this crypto. And before we look here at the Google Trends, I also want to show you the moving averages. Here, the 4-hour is where I'm looking at these right now, and I'm actually just going to look at the 200 because that to me is all that I need to look at right now because of the sheer amount of confluence that this indicator in particular has shown over the course of time here. Quickly, because if you are subscribed here, you would know this by now. For me, this has been a key moving average to look at, as all throughout this trend it has acted as support, then resistance, turn support, now resistance, and we've just since, let's zoom in here now. I want you to notice here on this micro move, resistance, and we just broke through now, and look at where it's acting as support, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it is absolutely incredible here. After breaking the old resistance, it is now tentatively turned into new support, all with everything else kept in mind that we still are respecting the upward parabolic trajectory. We are above the 0.382 Fibonacci, above this level of resistance, and we may in fact just be looking for that next test up to the 0.618. Also keep in mind here the NVT. If we do in fact look at this, the NVT is still trading below that 150 mark, which has been, bearish, so to say, that after really having an overextended trading period above this region for quite some time, and then dropping into this zone, we've seen that historically it has been not so great for the bulls. Let's get this crypto. So now I want to examine here the Google Trends data. Okay, so we'll start with the 5-year data here. And for me, the 5-year data, this is really the creme de la creme of Bitcoin here, guys. And we see, obviously, this is measured from our peak back at the height of the bubble in 2017. This was at a 100. But since we've climbed out of the bear market here, Bitcoin has actually been on a higher high and higher low trajectory. And for the first time right now, it's getting a little worrisome because you can see our first high here was at 12, followed by a low of 8. Then our high of 18, followed by a low of 11. Then a high of 25. Great. But now the problem, ladies and gentlemen, is that right now our previous low was an 11. And right now we're tentatively looking to stick in an 11. If this drops below an 11, it will be the first time since climbing out of the bear market that Bitcoin is going to have a lower low. That is not good. That is textbook bearish. A lower low is not good for the bulls. Of course, anything can happen, right? I'm not saying that this is an end-all be-all. I'm just stating here an observation that this would be the first lower low in terms of the search volume since the beginning of the bull run here from the depths of the crypto abyss back here in late March, early April. Let's get this crypto. So for me now, guys, looking at this here on the 5-year, then going into the 90-day data, we could see this was the top of our run here. This was 14,000, June 26th, right? If we zoom in here, I just want you to be well aware, this was it. The price action totally correlated here with the Google trend data. And ever since then, we were at a 100. We are now at a 27, ladies and gentlemen. Pitiful. Back to way before that move occurred. So we've lost roughly 73% of the volume there in the past 3 months, right? And then if we go over to the 30-day here, I just want you to keep in mind here as well that we have not seen any sort of increase here, even with the price moving up, right? With this bounce here. In fact, the data suggests that we've just continually moved down for the most part on a macro level, currently at a 63. Let's get this crypto. And also here as well, just briefly, the crypto fear and greed index is also failing to put in any new highs on the greed level, which throughout this parabolic run, look at the trend, all higher highs, right? All higher highs. Now it's just lower high after lower high after lower high. Can this change at any point in time? Absolutely. But as of right now, it appears to Don Carbonaccio, that this is a change in the trend right now. And for me, sure, we may get that one last push to the upside, the final over euphoric bull trap. But right now, until we see that these levels here of the downward sloping trajectory are taken out, until we stick in a new higher high, for me, it's going to be very difficult to see past the fact that there is so much looming resistance here that can tentatively act as a rejection for a potential plunge deep down into the crypto abyss, right? And we all should know that if this floor here, if this floor support with the green box anywhere between 9,500 and 9,000 flat, if that box is broken, ladies and gentlemen, grandma's cookies and a bottle of yo-ho-ho, this market could be in for an immensely, I don't even know the word. It could be very, very interesting here, to say the least, as really we are then entering a complete break of the parabolic trend. The bullish support here that's been built would then have been flushed through, and things may be absolutely incredible in terms of volatility here when that period, or if that period does in fact occur. Let's get this crypto. So right now, you may be thinking to yourself, so what do I do, Don? I feel like a chicken with its head cut off. What do I do? Well, for me right now, I'm strategizing here, ladies and gentlemen. I've told you this. I'm speculating to the short side right now, right? I'm not under the impression right now that this market has to go higher from here. Sure, it can, but right now I'm speculating to the short side, and I'm going to be planning my strategies here for all the occurrences. If we do get this blow off top, I'm going to have a plan to crush it and get this crypto. If we drop from right here, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have plans to crush it and get this crypto, and I'm going to post all of my plans for you in VIP. I don't know how else to say it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see all of my plans that I formulate, if you want to see every trade that I take, every time I enter a trade, every time I take profit on a trade, where I put my stop losses, when I'm entering, when I'm exiting, what are my targets, etc., I post it all for you in VIP. Shout out to my VIPs, and shout out to all of my new future VIPs joining VIP right now after this video. I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. I'm fired up right now, ladies and gentlemen. All these average Joes and James at the water coolers, to me, ladies and gentlemen, they've done nothing but moan, complain. For them, ladies and gentlemen, they bought their first $25 worth of Bitcoins, all the way up there at 14,000. Every time that it pumps, they probably buy more and continue to get wrecked. They think it's going to the moon each and every day. How do these people look themselves in the mirror and believe, ladies and gentlemen, that they can just keep buying parabolic FOMO and then I'm just going to hodl, Kirby, because one day I'll be rich, Kirby, one day. Sure, James, maybe you'll get lucky, my friend, but that's not trading. The fact that you're watching trading analysis makes no sense if that's your come from. That is not how traders think. Traders, like myself, trade swings. Swing lows to swing highs. Swing highs to swing lows. And my friend, right now, I'm looking to crush the next swing. Not sit here, close my eyes. Oh, and Kirby, I'm going to hope for the moon, Kirby. I'm going to hope for the moon. Get out of here with that nonsense, James. Get out of here. So right now, Don Carbonaccio is preparing for moves when the market, or if the market moves up into this region, and I'm going to keep you updated with it in VIP. If we drop from where we currently stand right now, you best believe Don Carbonaccio is going to keep you updated in VIP with moves for that play down there when I make my entries, take my profits, etc. when this move moves down. Guys, that's all I can say here. I've outlined about as much as I possibly can, and I'm going to be trading this aggressively. So if you want to see how the Don is planning to crush this market and get this crypto, to crush it like a 2-ton man on a tuna fish can, well then, my friend, today is the day. It's time to transform yourself from Average Joe into Savage Joe. Let's get this crypto. I will see you in VIP right now. So shout out to all of my new future VIPs joining VIP right now after this video. I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. Sheesh. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So when the sun rises in the east and sets in the west on these Moonboy degenerates, are you going to be the one that crushes this market? Or are you going to be the one that gets crushed? The choice is yours. I will see you all in VIP right now. Shout out to all of my new future VIPs joining VIP right now after this video. I will see you in VIP right now. Let's get this crypto. And until next time, my friends, if you could one last time, moon up the likes, moon them up, smash those thumbs, click the subscribe button, tick the little bell, and let's get this crypto. I believe we are about to see an explosive move here, ladies and gentlemen. Do not get caught like a deer in the headlights. Do not take that trip to Wreck City with Average Joe and James at the water cooler. You're better than that. I'll see you all in VIP right now. And until next time, my friends, the Don has spoken. Be safe, be happy, be healthy. It's your boy, Crypto Kirby. Peace and love, my friends. Curbs.